You are about to hear a sleep story from Baelira Night. Baelira Night creates calm, original stories for adults, designed to help you relax, slow down, and drift gently into sleep. Listen at low volume, get comfortable, and allow the story to fade naturally as you rest. There is nothing you need to do. You can simply listen. Tonight, you are working the night shift at a lighthouse. The evening has already settled in. The sky is dark, but not heavy. Clouds move slowly above the sea, and the air feels cool and steady. You arrive at the lighthouse just as the last light fades from the horizon. The structure stands tall and familiar, white against the darkening sky. This place is quiet, not empty, just calm. You unlock the door and step inside. The sound of the wind softens immediately. The thick walls hold warmth. The space feels safe and contained. You close the door gently behind you. The latch clicks softly. That sound marks the beginning of the night. Inside, the lighthouse smells faintly of stone and sea air. Clean, simple, unchanged. You take a moment to stand still, to let your body adjust, to feel the ground beneath your feet. There is no rush here. The night follows a routine, a steady rhythm you know well. You hang your coat. You check your notes. Everything is in order. The stairs curve upward, leading slowly toward the light above. You climb them at an easy pace. One step, then another. Your movements are unhurried. Your breathing stays calm, in and out. As you climb, the sound of the sea reaches you, muted, distant, a low, steady presence beyond the walls. At the top, you enter the lantern room. The large glass panes curve around you, offering a wide view of the dark water below. The light is already on. It turns slowly, steadily, casting long, gentle beams across the sea. You check the mechanism. Everything moves as it should, smooth, reliable. You take a seat near the window, a simple chair, comfortable, familiar. From here, you can watch the light complete its slow circle. Over and over, a reassuring pattern. Outside, the sea moves quietly. Waves roll in and out with patience, no sudden motion, no urgency. The lighthouse hums softly, a sound so familiar it fades into the background. You settle in. Your shoulders relax. Your hands rest easily. This is your night. Quiet, predictable, calm. Ships pass far out at sea. You cannot hear them. You may not even see them. But the light reaches them all the same. You are here to keep the light steady. Nothing more, nothing less. And as the night continues, you can rest into this stillness, allowing the rhythm of the sea and the slow turning light to carry you gently forward. The night settles more deeply around the lighthouse. Time moves slowly here, measured not by clocks, but by the steady turning of the light and the quiet rhythm of the sea. You remain seated for a while, watching the beam glide across the dark water. It passes the same points again and again, never rushing, never missing its path. Each rotation feels familiar, comforting. Outside, the waves continue their gentle work, rolling in, pulling back, a soft, repeating motion that never needs to be noticed closely. You rise from your chair and move calmly around the room. Your footsteps are quiet on the floor. Everything here is solid, reliable, built to last. You check the windows. Clear, clean, free of salt spray. The glass reflects a faint glow from the lantern, creating soft shapes that move as the light turns. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden. You pause at one window and look out. The sea stretches wide and dark, its surface shifting slowly under the night sky. The horizon is barely visible now, a subtle meeting of dark water and darker air. You take a slow breath in and let it out. In and out. The air inside the lantern room feels steady, neither warm nor cold. Just right. You return to your chair and sit again. Your body settles easily. The routine of the night supports you. From time to time, you glance at the mechanisms that guide the light. Gears turning, parts moving smoothly, each sound soft and predictable. Nothing demands attention. Nothing calls for action. The lighthouse does its work quietly. You are here to witness it, not to hurry it. Somewhere below, the wind moves gently around the base of the tower. You hear it faintly, a low, distant sound that blends with the sea. The walls hold firm. The light continues its steady turn. You feel a sense of calm responsibility, a simple purpose, to remain, to observe, to keep watch. There is comfort in knowing exactly what is needed, and knowing that it is already being done. Your thoughts slow. They no longer reach for anything. They drift, like the reflections on the glass. If a thought appears, it passes without effort. The night feels wide, but not empty, full of quiet movement, full of gentle continuity. You glance once more at the sea. Far out, a faint point of light appears briefly. Another lighthouse, another watchful presence. Then it fades back into the dark. You are not alone in this work. Even in the quiet, there is connection. The light completes another rotation, and another. The sound of the sea remains steady. The lighthouse hums softly. Your breathing stays slow and even. In and out. The middle of the night has arrived, and everything is exactly as it should be. The night deepens further, settling into its quietest hours. This is the time when the world feels most still, when movement slows, when even the sea seems to breathe more gently. You remain in the lantern room, surrounded by glass, light, and silence. The beam continues its slow rotation, cutting softly through the dark. Each pass of the light feels like a steady heartbeat, regular, unchanging, reassuring. You adjust your position slightly in the chair, not because you need to, but because your body naturally finds comfort. Your feet rest firmly on the floor, your hands feel warm, your shoulders remain relaxed, in and out. Outside, the waves roll in long, smooth lines. There is no crash, no urgency, just the patient movement of water meeting shore. The sound reaches you as a low, distant presence, so familiar it almost disappears. You glance at the clock briefly. The time does not matter. It simply confirms what you already feel. The night is passing, exactly as it always does. You stand and make a quiet round of the room again. A habit formed over many nights. A rhythm you trust. You check the light once more. It turns without effort. The mechanism responds perfectly. You place your hand briefly on the cool metal. Solid. Dependable. At rest. The glass around you shows faint reflections. Your own outline moves gently as the beam turns. Nothing sharp. Nothing demanding. You look out again. The sea stretches endlessly, its surface shifting slowly beneath the stars. The sky above is dark and open. Clouds drift lazily, never blocking the light for long. You feel a sense of balance here, between land and sea, between light and dark, between motion and rest. The lighthouse stands quietly in this balance, and so do you. Your breathing remains slow and even. Your mind stays calm. Thoughts no longer form clearly. They soften before they can settle. They dissolve into the background, like distant lights fading on the horizon. You return to your chair. You sit. You rest. The chair supports you. The floor supports the tower. The tower supports the light. Everything supports everything else. Another rotation passes, and another. The lighthouse continues its steady work. You continue yours, simply by being present. The night is at its deepest now, still, quiet, whole, and you remain here, comfortable, grounded, held by routine as the hours drift gently forward. The night begins to shift in subtle ways, not toward morning yet, but toward a lighter kind of quiet, a stillness that feels softer, less dense. You notice it without thinking, a gentle change in the air, a calm easing. The lighthouse remains steady. The beam continues its slow, reliable turn. Nothing about its rhythm has changed, but the world around it breathes differently now. You stand near the window, watching the light stretch across the sea. The water looks smoother here, its surface calm and patient. The waves continue their gentle rise and fall, uninterrupted, unconcerned. You feel grounded in this moment, your weight evenly balanced, your body fully supported. In and out. The lantern room is quiet enough that you can hear the smallest sounds, the faint hum of the light, the subtle whisper of wind outside, the low, distant presence of the sea. These sounds blend together. None of them stand out. They simply exist. You move slowly, checking the space once more. A final, familiar routine. Everything is as it should be. The glass is clear. The mechanism turns smoothly. The light reaches far into the night. You return to your chair and sit again. Your movements are effortless, unforced. Your eyelids feel heavy now, not because you are tired, but because rest feels natural. The chair holds you. The room holds you. The lighthouse holds the night. Outside, the sky begins to soften. The darkness is no longer absolute. It loosens slightly, making room for what will come later. You do not need to think about dawn. It will arrive when it is ready. For now, there is only this calm watchfulness, this steady presence. The light completes another rotation, and another. Each one feels slower than the last. Not in time, but in perception. Time stretches. Moments blend. Your thoughts drift further away. They no longer have shape. They pass like shadows on the glass. You remain warm. You remain safe. You remain still. The sea continues its endless motion. The lighthouse continues its quiet duty. And you continue to rest here, supported by routine, by rhythm, by the calm certainty that everything is being taken care of. The night holds steady, and you are free to let go even more as the final hours approach with gentle patience. The night continues its gentle easing, almost without being noticed. You remain in the lantern room, held by the quiet routine, by the steady presence of the light. The beam turns again, and again. Its movement feels slower now, as if the night itself is resting. Outside, the sea remains calm. Its long, patient rhythms move without effort. Nothing interrupts. Nothing changes suddenly. Inside, the air feels soft, still, balanced. You sit comfortably, your body fully supported. There is no tension left to release, no thought left to follow. In and out. The lighthouse hums quietly, a sound so familiar it blends into silence. The mechanism works without resistance. Everything continues as it should. You glance out once more. The horizon is barely lighter now, not bright, just gently softened. The night is not ending. It is simply passing. You feel no need to mark the time, no need to prepare, no need to stay alert. The light will continue to turn. The sea will continue to move. The world will carry on quietly, with or without attention. You have done what was needed, by being present, by keeping watch, by allowing the night to unfold. Now, even that sense of purpose can fade gently into rest. Your breathing remains slow, easy, natural, in and out. The chair supports you. The room surrounds you. The lighthouse stands steady around it all. You are safe. You are warm. You are held by routine and rhythm. The night wraps itself softly around everything. Around the sea, around the tower, around you. Nothing more is required. Nothing more is expected. You can allow yourself to drift, to soften, to sleep. The light continues its quiet turning. The sea continues its endless motion. The night continues its calm watch. And you rest. Good night.